Wasabi guys, welcome back to another video. As always, I appreciate it when you guys subscribe, it really helps support the channel. We are very close to 21,000 subscribers, another great milestone. And this is something I think a lot of people have talked about. All last year, 2020, we had the Secret Lair drop for The Walking Dead, and it was very polarizing. You had people that either didn't really care, or they liked The Walking Dead, they thought it was a cool concept. And then you had the other side, and reasonably so, you had people who were worried about the precedent that it set, where any kind of card, just for the sake of, I guess, reaching out and trying to expand the audience, using something that's very popular like The Walking Dead, it sort of has a cheapening effect to the game. It has a cheapening effect when these cards are they're not made silver bordered, kind of like the Transformers cards that Hasbro did not so long ago. There were also My Little Pony ones, but those were not legal. Those were not tournament legal. With the ones from The Walking Dead, you can play them. You know, you can still make a deck around them, and that was what really irked a lot of people. So I can understand that. I was also kind of indifferent at the time. My opinions change. They often do. A lot of how I feel right now is me just trying to make the best out of everything that we're given here. I don't like complaining all the time. Sometimes I need to complain. But Stranger Things is coming to Magic the Gathering, plus changes for the Secret Lair. This is an article by Polygon. Wizards of the Coast says it's responding to feedback about its boutique line of premium collectible cards. So the Secret Lair, that's where we get all these specialty cards. It's not always just like The Walking Dead or Stranger Things. Sometimes it's just like a little reprint set of older cards and they're given new artwork. And it's usually different artwork, something that's crazy looking, which makes it more of a collectible because you don't typically see that artwork anywhere else. So Wizards of the Coast is partnering with Netflix to produce an exclusive set of Stranger Things themed cards for Magic the Gathering. The publisher also said that it will make changes to how cards from the Secret Lair, a boutique print on-demand service, make their way into the collectible card game. The announcements were made on Wednesday on the Magic YouTube channel and as a part of Netflix Geeked Week. So you get Netflix joining in there. And I don't have a problem with the game growing. I guess it's just, it goes back to the cheapening effect that once Magic is just used as a vehicle for other properties, it starts to feel more like Monopoly. You know what I mean? Like Monopoly has so many different variants, which is understandable because Monopoly hasn't really changed as a game. There's only so much you can do with that, but we have a trading card game, we have a game with expansions, we get 3 to 4 a year. It's constantly changing, and not always for the better. According to senior designer Gavin Very, Stranger Things cards will only be made available for purchase via the Secret Lair, which launched in 2019. So that's directly from Hasbro, right? That's directly from Hasbro. Another problem people have with it is that it's not supporting local game stores. These are the types of products that should 100% be only for LGSs. I know 2020 was a hard year to find one that was open. It was a hard year for LGSs in general. But this is 100% a product that should go to support the community, and it shouldn't be just this direct online sale to the customer through Hasbro. I think that's a no-no for me. I've always disliked that. Traditionally, the Secret Lair has been a way for Wizards to command a premium price for popular cards with alternate art. But in 2020, the publisher brought cards with unique abilities to the platform. Cards that had no other corollaries in the retail version of the game. So they're talking about like pop culture cards, Walking Dead cards, just characters that didn't exist in this multiverse. They don't really belong here anyway. You have Negan with a baseball bat, you have guns in The Walking Dead. Does that sit well with anybody? You have baseball bats, guns, vehicles, motorcycles in a fantasy setting. I remember some people disappointed when they had vehicles in Kaladesh because they're like, that's breaking the fantasy escapism. The blowback from the community since has been considerable, with players angered by the premium pricing for this new content. Again, it's more than just the pricing, it's more than just demanding a high price for this, it's how it's being done. I've also voiced my opinion on just having all these different collector's items. Like everything is a collector's item now in Magic the Gathering, and I don't think that's going to age well. I've been involved in a lot of different hobbies, and there are many that do the same exact thing, and it doesn't have the effect that I think they're wanting it to. Where the secondary market is strong, where these cards are going to maintain their value or grow in value. It could happen, I could be wrong, but the only cards that are really going to grow in value are the ones on the reserve list, because those are the ones that are not being printed like rabbits multiply. You know, that's what we get now. We get all these different specialty reprints each individual expansion now you get 3 to 4 different versions of each card. So is it really that special when every time you open a pack you get something weird? You know what I mean? At least with Battle for Zendikar, when the expeditions were first announced, it was like, wow, you might get one in a booster box if you're lucky. That was so much cooler, because you knew you got something special that was hard to pull. This is not the case. Now they've just assigned a price tag to that kind of experience. So now you're paying more money, which just because something's more expensive doesn't mean it's rare. And that's really the negative impact I don't think some people are paying attention to. For the upcoming Stranger Things set, Very said in a video that Wizards will be publishing in-world Magic flavored versions of those cards at retail. The only substantive difference between the Stranger Things cards from the Secret Lair and cards pulled from blind packs will be the art. So apparently this is going to be another set. I didn't realize that. The Walking Dead, they didn't get their own set, they just had their own Secret Lairs. So you had those promo cards basically. The fact that this is also, in addition to Lord of the Rings, which I could understand Lord of the Rings being a fantasy setting, but this might be a bridge too far. A bridge too far. I know we've said that about so many things Magic news related, but it just seems like they don't know when to put on the brakes here. We're putting copies of these cards, the in-world Magic flavored versions, on the list. Very said, referring to a subset of cards that are randomly available in some packs. He said they'll also be showing up at a higher frequency than other cards on the list, and that Wizards will continue taking feedback and adding those cards to other products as needed to meet consumer demand. Very also made it clear that the Stranger Things crossovers are meant to be fun collectible cards. He also emphasized that they are intended for the Commander format, which encourages players to make heavily thematic decks for pickup play with their friends. No further information about this set or these Stranger Things cards was given. You can read more on the Wizards of the Coast website. So, yeah, listen, I think, you know, it's cool to have something like this. If they just want to turn into like a board game where you have a different theme for something else that's popular, I guess so. I just hope it doesn't take away from the overall Magic world, the multiverse, because I think it's good enough to stand on its own. It's just, you had the stupid Gatewatch, and the lore just became ridiculous. It became all about the Planeswalkers and some Super Friends, pseudo-Avengers team that never really was interesting to begin with. But you go back to early Magic lore, I think most people would say they like the Urza Saga the best. I think the Phyrexians, that was also really cool. But, you know, this is something that they've abandoned. So now it doesn't really matter. Now that Magic has kind of been cheapened, who really cares as long as they make money? As long as they make money off of this. I guess it's whatever's popular this year. And Stranger Things is still somewhat popular, I guess. Wouldn't it be funny if they did like a Yu-Gi-Oh crossover or a Pokemon crossover? I mean, that's next. That's what would really blow my mind. But anyway, let me know what you think about this crossover, the Secret Lair stuff. As always, subscribe, like, comment, share. I really appreciate you all watching. Have a wonderful day. Signing off.